This Parabolic SAR strategy can help you make money, but only if you know how to use it correctly. Most traders get this indicator completely wrong. So in the next few minutes, I will show you a simple setup and trading strategy you can use to get started now. Right now, I'm looking at a daily time frame on the Nasdaq 100, but you can use the Parabolic SAR on pretty much all time frames and asset classes. So you can use it on crypto, Forex, or stocks. And now to access the Parabolic SAR, you want to navigate up here to the Indicators tab in TradingView. And I think it's enough to just type SAR right here, or SAR. And luckily, I do think this indicator is available for the TradingView free plan, but we do have multiple community-based indicators as well. And I don't think, definitely not all of these are available for free. But if you guys want to get TradingView Premium for free for 30 days, I do actually have a special TradingView link that you can check out. It will be in the description and the top comment of this video. But now let's open up the indicator, and you do want to choose this one, just simply called Parabolic SAR right here. And as you can see, when you first open up this indicator, I'm not even sure if you guys can see the indicator right here, and that is because the dots are so small. So I actually right away want to go up here and change a few just style settings right here. So what I like to do is to actually change the crosses here to circles. I just like circles a bit more. You can definitely feel free to use whatever you want. You can even use things like, you know, lines if you prefer that. But I think that circles is perfect, and I'm going to make them a bit bigger. I'm actually going to make them super big so you guys can see clearly. And now we are ready to press OK here. So what you can first hopefully notice here is that the Parabolic SAR catches many of the important moves. For example, you can see that after, if you remember this massive candle the stock market saw when Nasdaq traded up around 12%. This was the very absolute lowest point of this recent stock market crash, and you can actually see that the Parabolic SAR flipped on this day. You can see the dot went from above here to below. And you can also see that the Parabolic SAR catched many of the pullbacks, for example, the pullback right here and the next move, and so on and so on. So you might wonder, isn't it just enough to, you know, buy when it flips right here and, you know, sell, for example, when it flips right here? And that is the basics of the Parabolic SAR. But as I said, I highly recommend to not use the Parabolic SAR like this, because it will give many false signals. Oops. You can, for example, see if we scroll a bit left here, as I talked about earlier in the course, when we have this kind of sideways markets, you can see that we will get many signals, but many of these will either be, you know, not that good, or they will simply be false, and you will lose money if you use these signals alone. So what I highly recommend is to combine it with price action. I once again refer back to my full price action course. You guys should really check that one out. But when I talk about price action, I talk about things like, for example, candlestick patterns. So for example, right here, we got the bullish signal that we are in a potential uptrend. We saw this impulsive move upright with this candle. Then the price turned, pulled back a bit. So we got a pullback towards getting closer to the dots. But what you then can see is that right here, we actually printed a candlestick pattern. This right here is known as a BE, or bullish engulfing pattern. And combining the indicator with other price action signals, like for example, bullish engulfing patterns, but you have many more concepts as well, is definitely, at least in my opinion, a better strategy than blindly using this indicator. So this right here could have been an entry point. Another thing, you might want to ask yourself, you know, could we have used this indicator in perhaps the crash as well? And I would say definitely yes. But once again, you want to combine it with price action and preferably also market structure. Because as you can see right here, if you look closely, you can see that the price, we had this impulsive move down, right? Strong impulsive move down. Then we saw this pullback before the next impulsive move. And yes, the Parabolic SAR with this dot right here caught this breakout beautifully. So it caught the downwards move. But I don't think this is a good signal unless we have the market structure supporting the move. And in this case, you can actually see that we had a bear flag, right? A bear flag is when we have an impulsive move, the price goes up right here, and then it breaks out. You can also see that right here, we actually had the opposite of this signal. This right here is a bearish engulfing pattern. So you had two potential entry points. You could either had looked out for this candle close of the bearish engulfing, or you could have looked out for the let me delete some stuff because it got a bit messy, or you can look out for the breakout of the actual bearish bear flag. So once again, I want to emphasize that using this indicator alone can be helpful, but combining it with price action and market structure is often the way to go. But alright, so now let's actually take a look at how we can change the settings to potentially improve the indicator. And to change the settings, we do want to go up here to where it says settings, and then we want to navigate to the inputs tab. And here we have three important settings. We have the start, we have the increment, and we have the max value. And as for the start, you can think about the start as the initial speed of the parabolic SAR. So a lower value will give the SAR a slower start, while a higher value will make the SAR react faster already from the beginning. While the increment here is about how the SAR accelerates over time. So this one basically explains how quickly the dots, like for example right here, will move closer to the price. And last but not least, we have the max value, and this is simply the maximum speed of the dots. And I can already mention here that most traders will have the start and increment at the same levels. You can see that the standard setting have 0.02 for both the start and increment. And for most settings, you will actually keep it at this because it makes the indicator simpler to understand. And this is also how Wells Wilder meant the indicator to work. But alright, so let's take a look here at the beginning settings. They are 0.02, 0.02, and 0.2. And in my opinion, for many situations, these settings work pretty good. But if you are looking for faster signals, perhaps you are day trading or scalping and are looking to get in and out of the market much more quickly. For example, as you can see right here, the standard settings can catch these longer term moves as well. But if you're looking for quicker moves, you can actually change the settings. So let's go back here to the setting tab. Using a setting of 0.03 for both the start and the increment here. So 0.03, 0.03, and the max value to 0.3 as well, will make the signals much more tighter. You can, for example, see that if we press OK here, you will get the bands will be much more tighter here. And this can be very good if you want to catch shorter term moves. But what you also will notice, and this is important to mention, is that you will get some false signals. For example, you can see this dot right here. You can see here we only got one dot right, and this dot didn't really provide any kind of value. It just produced noise and could lead to losses. So when it comes to these faster settings, it is definitely a trade-off between how fast is the indicator and how reliable are the signals. But now let's go back here to the settings, because I do want to show you guys one more setting here, and that is to actually change the start to 0.01, the increment to 0.01. Remember, we tend to have this one the same. And let's also change the max value to 0.1. These settings are much more suitable for longer term trading. Maybe you are swing trading, maybe you are even investing, or you might even be trading on the short term time frames, but still looking for trades that span over multiple candles. Then you can use this type of setting. So when we click OK now, you will see that the indicator will be much more smoother. And even in environments that are, ranging, you can see that we will reduce the amount of false signals. However, there are often no free lunches when it comes to indicator, because yes, these signals can be more reliable, but at the same time, they will all often come very late. For example, you can see this signal right here came in much later, and that is of course a bad thing. So it is a trade-off. All right, so this video was actually just a very short clip from our full parabolic SAR trading guide. To watch the full guide, simply click or tap on the screen right here. I hope I will see you all over there very, very soon.